Hello guys, welcome back. I'm here and today I'm going to explain how to tell a story effectively. Everyone generally knows how to tell a story, but how to tell it effectively is completely a different thing. Now, the story is made up of three things: the setup, the conflict, and the resolution. The setup is composed of the hook, the context. The conflict is generally an unpleasant thing, an unwanted thing that happens. And the resolution is how it gets resolved or how the solution comes forward. Now, as we can see in the setup of the things, so the setup can be made in two things: the hook and the context. The hook is what generally attract the audience towards your story and how you retain the audience. However good your story might be, if the hook is not proper, they won't stay for the part where it gets good. Generally, the story gets good after the conflict part. So how to control the audience till then? The hook is the answer to that. Now, there are three kinds of hook: the expectation hook, the mystery hook, and the relatable hook. What is an expectation hook? Expectation hook, for example, every podcast uses this. What you will find in this video or an educational video as to you will get this end result by the end of this. For example, you will learn how to make $50,000 by the end of this video. That is usually an expectation hook. As you can see in this Vijay Malla podcast, rise and downfall of Kingfisher Airlines, loans, RCB, etc. Now this podcast promises you a deep dive into this person so that you can know all the exclusive information from this podcast, and that's why you will click on it. That's an expectation hook. Now, a mystery hook. A mystery hook is generally used by people who are targeting mass audiences. For example, Mr. Beast uses this a lot. 7-day exploration of underground city. For example, you don't know what's happening, but you do get an idea of what will come. Well, 7 days of underground city. An underground city creates a sense of mystery, and the thumbnail also gives you a sense that it's a very dark, mysterious thing, and that's how the mystery hook works. Now, a relatable hook. Most motivation videos use a relatable hook. For example, you're not lazy, you just need a reason. Most of the people you know are procrastinating and also are lazy, who want to get up and do the things. And this will give an idea how that thing works and how can you overcome it. That's what a relatable hook is. Now we'll come to context. Context is very important in a video or in a story. Why is context important? Context is important because you should know why the things are happening. Imagine your main character is going in an alley. She is clenching her purse and sweating profoundly even though it's daylight. Why is it important? Now imagine two scenarios. One in which you give a context that she was mugged last week, and in one more where you did not give a context, and thus the two become completely different. Now you can give a context a little bit to create a sense of mystery, but a context is very important. You also have to introduce your characters. For example, who the people involved are, unless you want to create a sense of mystery. But you cannot create a sense of deep mystery until and unless you have already shown a bit of context. Because if you do create a sense of too much mystery, people won't stay for that story. For example, if you do not tell everyone or you do not tell half of the people who are involved, people will get confused, and if it's too much confusing, they'll just stop hearing your story. Now, conflict. What is conflict? Now, conflict is any unpleasant thing that happens or something that drives you from your setup to your conclusion. Anything that happens that rumbles it a bit. It is very important. It keeps your audience hooked till the end, and also it gives a sense of excitement to the audience. Now let's look at an example. I was riding a motorcycle in the Valley Hills. This is your context, and this is also a hook. And suddenly there was a loud sound ahead of me. This creates a sense of mystery. When I arrived a bit ahead, I found a huge landslide had occurred. Now this is your conflict. Okay, why the conflict is necessary? I've already told you. It creates a sense of excitement in the audience and it gives a high in the story. Now, resolution. Resolution is as important as the conflict and the setup, to be honest. There are two types of resolution. A resolution which has an ending and an abrupt ending. We'll get to an abrupt ending in certain time. Now, let's look at resolved ending. Resolved ending is, for example, the continuation of the story, but thankfully, the locals came to the rescue and cleared the debris within half an hour, due to which allowed me to reach the lodge before sunset. I reached the lodge, which was originally my goal, to reach the lodge by riding my motorcycle, and it happened before sunset. Now an abrupt ending. But thankfully the locals came to the rescue, cleared the debris, but it almost took all the time and the sun has already set. This worried me because there were many cases of hillside robbery and suddenly there was a person ahead of me. This is abrupt ending. It does give you an ending to the conflict that has become resolution to the conflict, but it also creates another conflict. Suddenly there was a person ahead of me. Now you do not know if that person is the robber or any other person. This you can use in the continuation of another video or another story. That's how the setup to another story can be set up using an original story or a previous predecessor story. Now, this is how to tell a story effectively. Now, if you do all these three things in a story, it is supposed to be a great story. This is how most of the series, most of the movies, and also most of the YouTube videos work. Thank you.